All right, now let me show you how to make this transparent text in Adobe Premiere Pro. So the very first thing you need to do after launching your Adobe Premiere Pro, just like you can see now, is to first of all type in the text you want to add the transparency to. So you quickly type something like this. Okay, and how do you go about typing this? I actually made a video earlier on how to add text. You can check out that video to actually get to understand the steps it takes to add text in Adobe Premiere Pro as expected. So after this process, it is still not yet okay because as you can see now, the text is not actually transparent. Then you begin to ask this question like why and how can I actually get to do this? Still don't worry. So you now quickly head to the top left right hand side, just like you can see now, we have essential graphics, we have video transition, essential sound, and a whole lot here, just like you can see now. But our major concern here is actually the essential graphics, because if you should click on lumetri color, it will take you to a different location. If you should click on essential sound, it will take you to a different location, except this essential graphics, which is the point of discussion for today as far as this tutorial is concerned. Then you now quickly head to essential graphics, just like you can see now. Now, if you should observe carefully, you see browse and edit by the top right hand side, just like you can see here. See browse here, see edit. This browse actually stands for you to like search or look for an already made template in this or essential graphics pack. And as a matter of fact, in this case, we have already typed in a text, so we don't actually need a particular template or whatsoever to get this done, but to go straight to this edit. Then you now click on the edit. Now, can you see the text we have already entered earlier? That the text that I typed in earlier. Now, and at this edit interface, if you should double click on it, you see what happens now. The text will be checked automatically for editing. But as in this point, the editing we are going to do here is not to replace the entire text, but to make it transparent as expected with thick stroke. Now, we now move further. You scroll down, you see a whole lot of settings here, which has to do with the balancing of the text. Either you want to place it at the center, by the left, right, or the bottom, or even at the top, as the case may be. But then before that, we need to go into the transparency process before thinking of how to place our text for perfect and adequate result. Then you now quickly head to this fill. First of all, the fill has to be unchecked for you to get it right. The fill has to be unchecked. So you now click on this tick icon that you can see now. Then you uncheck it. Allow the box to be empty, just like you can do. When you uncheck it immediately, you see that the text disappears. But don't worry, because you're actually at the right uh place. Then the next thing is to go to this stroke. The stroke actually has to do with the edge. So it depends on which color you want to apply to the edge to make it transparent, but only the edge will have to give you a sketch of what the text is, because the moment you uncheck the field, you see that it will no longer be showing anything like there was a text here on the screen. But when you move further to stroke, you now check the stroke like this, and you see that everything pops up once again. So this is just how simple it is to actually get the transparent text. And then this is still not actually what enough yet. Let's still get the process down to the bottom line so that everyone will actually get adequate understanding of it. Then you now proceed to the next, which is selecting your favorite color of the text. Because as far as this tutorial is concerned, we're only working with the stroke. The fill is already unchecked, because the moment you check the fill like this is what you will get. And this is not actually what we're looking for. So you have to uncheck the fill as in this particular point in time, and then we proceed with a stroke. So let's try to toggle around to change the stroke color. You now click on this rectangular box that you can see just right beside the stroke like this, and then you tweak the colors. You check around to actually pick your favorite color. And then the moment you have picked your favorite color, you see that, let's say the text is not well centered or not well positioned where you want to keep it, you can now come to this upside here, or let's say you want to still increase the size of the text. I actually made a video about that earlier, but for the purpose of this one, I'll just have to run it through to carry everybody along. Then you now come to this one has to do with the size. Can you see now, when the moment you adjust, you see that the size begin to increase, and then when you tweak to the left, it decreases. Or you can just quickly double click and then you enter a particular number of it, because most times I love using just double click and then I enter a particular number of my choice to either decrease or increase based on how familiar I am with it. But if you're a total beginner, it is advisable you adjust manually to actually understand how these things work. Then after that, let's say I want to place it by the left hand side, lower left here. I can just quickly click here, and then I will now tweak slowly. Okay, this one is for to adjust the position. Can you see now? So the moment you click here like this, then you begin to adjust, and you see now you can now successfully place your text wherever you want using this very tool here. Subsequently, I'm still going to be unveiling more and more of the hidden tricks and tips that actually flavors your editing in Adobe Premiere Pro. So make sure you always stay subscribed for more awesome content like this on a daily basis. I drop videos on a daily basis, so keep following and make sure you don't miss out any step.